Alrighty, good evening everybody. Welcome back to SimTraX Broadcasting. This is Patrick Morrison coming to you live here with the NSR series here tonight at iRacing Super Speedway, one of the longest oval tracks that we offer on the circuit. 3 miles long is where these guys are going to be running, and it's going to be an interesting run here, seeing that this is going to be the all-star race here tonight. There are going to be guys winning some points and some championship points as well, and guys that are even locked into the chase. So that's going to work out really well. Definitely want to see these guys press as hard as they can get to the end as we wait for Terry Litweiler and Drew Kuhn hopefully to get out there and finish up their qualifying here. As I think Drew Kuhn just got behind the wheel. I would be extremely surprised to see if he's going to be able to put down a time here tonight. I think he's loaded in a little bit too late here, but that's okay. Right now, I've got a few other drivers out there that are poking around just a hair to see if they've got anything out there, and we'll see how all that is going to kind of play out here and continue this race. Drew Kuhn out there, I see currently in the number, looks like the 40 car. I've got him listed here as the 21. They still are battling getting car numbers out there correctly on the side of these cars. Hopefully we are able to run these guys down and get the right number on them. Let's go ahead and take a look at what our race is going to consist of here tonight. 60 laps is what we're going to be running in multiple stages though, 20, 20, and 10. After segment 1, these guys will receive bonus points, and whoever is on the pole here tonight will receive 5 more. But the winner of the first segment will restart first in the final. The winner of the second segment, well, obviously will restart second in the final, and both those guys will be locked in the chase. Yeah, that's going to be pretty twitchy though. Right now, when we kind of the winner of the race gets locked into the chase, the championship is also going to be with 25 extra bonus points. I mean, there's going to be a lot of things happening out there. To see these guys run them here in the new Gen 4s, and you'll also notice that a few different things are going to be changing up here tonight. The cars are going to look a little bit different. We're going to be out there in the Monte Carlos and the Ford Tauruses out there. The Gen 4 just got a huge update, so everybody else is pretty much in a brand new car. Some of our cameras are going to be a little messed up, as well as trading paints. I see Lockridge Motorsports also saying that is going to be see what's going on. But yeah, Lockridge Motorsports is going to be down and out of the race here tonight, so hopefully we'll see them return for the upcoming race as they get ready to start warming up out there, starting to put a couple extra miles on those cars. Yeah, I see 0X saying I feel the need for speed. Yep, some of these guys may look identical. You notice the 14 of Anthony Mathis out there. He's looking almost the same as a couple of these other guys. Can't really blame them. They've tried to come up with a paint scheme as soon as possible out there to see if these guys have an opportunity to go ahead and try to make this happen. Let's see, there's Jason Crumley. And now I'm looking to see if the number 9 is out there in the Bass Pro machine, and he is. Good job here. Right now, everybody else is trying to get a few extra laps in. I'll be your producer tonight. Obviously, no faster pairs here. This being an open setup league, these guys have been able to make a couple of tweaks. A new big concern I was most worried about is taking a look at these guys is what are they going to end up doing? How are they going to end up being able to keep the car flat out there on the track? How are they not going to be able to put it high or low? As you can see right now, Justin Cope trying to try it out a little bit there, that transition, as he is wiggling a little bit out there on the track. Right now, there is no passing below that yellow line if these guys are looking to advance. So it may be a strategy that some guys are going to play, trying to push them off the field and down toward the bottom. Look at that bank. That is crazy. See here once again, this should be Lucas Crump out here in the 04. I'll try this thing flattens out. Yeah, tough race here tonight. I got a feeling the Ford Tauruses are going to be doing pretty well out here tonight, but a lot of Chevys have been leading the way. Mark Sikosi has been hot as of late. This guy back and forth. Has had a ton of speed, had a ton of wins here lately, and is really, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's three in a row, I think. Winning out there at Kern last weekend, so that was fantastic. Questionable call how the win came about. I knew a lot of guys that were kind of up in arms about how the finish ended up there. I knew we had Jared Magoon that was hanging out there in the lead. Justin Cope was creeping up from the back, and it did make it very, very tough out there for these drivers to definitely hang in there and make a race of it. Lockridge says he's super happy out there because it's a car he actually grew up wrenching on instead of these hybrids. Yeah, I would say this is this league originally had got going here with the Gen 4s. They call this the golden age of NASCAR. Everyone knows these cars. These things are recognizable anywhere you go, and that's exactly what iRacing has finally brought us, is the cars you are used to seeing out there now. As soon as trading paints and everybody gets these body styles squared away, these cars should look extremely familiar out there, with guys being able to run the numbers and the paint schemes at the same time. You'll be used to seeing the number 17 on the DeWalt car instead of the 04, and that'll be a Matt Kenseth number, obviously junior here in the Budweiser machine. These guys will be having a go at it. Few other guys, though, still poking around right now. That's Anthony Mathis on the bottom. Doug Macedo is actually the driver currently sitting, I believe he was almost on pole to start the race. And right now he's fastest in the warm-up. So right now the number 73 car out there is going to have a heck of a time right now. Yeah. 73 and Doug Macedo in the 73. Excellent. Looks like he's got the car numbers squared away out there. About another 15 seconds here of the warm-up, and I would love to show you guys this race get going here. Not much a fan of the warm-up unless we start getting really strung out there. So all right. All right, here we go. Yep, time to get started here. I missed Johnson out there. I'm hoping I have fixed the music there a little bit. I'll just try to get a little bebop in there in the background. Seeing how spread out this track does get for us. It may take a little bit of time. You'll see, hopefully, somebody be able to make it up into victory lane here. I have seen one wild mashup that took out about 22 cars at once. I'm hoping that will not be the case here tonight. Cautions will be thrown, but not counted. They will not be counting the laps. Hopefully, with that pace speed being around 90 miles an hour, they can hopefully tick off the pace laps pretty quick if need be. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting grid here for tonight and get this one underway. I can't wait to see what these guys have in store for us. Let's go. Moving on to Mark Sikosi sitting in that number one spot. Doug Macedo, yep, just barely missed him by 12 thousandths of a second. He sits in second. Moving out Jason Crumley, who sits third. Justin Cope, our fourth place driver, he'll be starting right there. Like I said, a little bit of a questionable call what happened last week. These guys are starting in the top five, where Brian Wiggins sits in that number 5 spot with his number 5. Hopefully, I'm hoping that the number 5 out there is at least in the Kellogg's machine, and he is. All right. Great job. So it looks like the Kellogg's machine and Terry Labonte able to get out there. Adam Glatfelter will be sitting in 6th. Moving on to Anthony Mathis, 9th. Eric Johnson, 10th. Oddly enough, Eric Johnson having a little farther back start than I think he even expected. Moving on to Charles Wilson, who sits 11th. And Lucas Crump rounds out our top 12. Only a few drivers left here, where we move on to Tyler Grimes, who sits 13th, and Drew Kuhn out there in the, I believe that should be the number 21 car for Drew Kuhn out there. And moving on to Terry Litweiler. I have not seen Terry Litweiler get a starting time out here. This guy's a little bit of a hit or miss. And he is out there on the track here tonight. So we've got 15 drivers lined up here at an extremely large track. And hopefully that does not hinder us here in any way. Hopefully these guys will be able to tick off these laps. Remember, there are points at stake here. So Mark Sikosi will gain 5 bonus points for winning the pole here tonight. And whoever is lining themselves up for the final segments, we'll see. Win segment 1 or 2, receive 10 more bonus points. Sikosi's got a long way to figure out if he's going to be able to do that. Let's get ready to get this one underway. Green flag should be out. All right, lap number 1. Mark Sikosi in front. Looks like Doug Macedo might have missed a shift here. Down he's going all the way to the back. Right now, Macedo from 2nd to 8th. Haven't even made it to turn 1 yet here. Right now, the 73 trying to work it here. The 04 taking a look around. Crump already gaining 1 position. I got a feeling he's going to get shuffled back. This track extremely reliant on the draft. And he's got to start squeezing down, or these guys are going to get separated. Right now, you notice how the 57, Charles Wilson and Doug Macedo out there. Yep, number 40 goes ahead and dives on out. And right now, if I'm not mistaken, yep, of Drew Kuhn. Right now, Kuhn has got to hurry up and get to the front. He has lost the draft. Trying to see if he can connect back up with these guys before they lose them. It's going to be a long night if these guys do not all stick together. Oddly enough, that's what you see here is some pack racing once you get to these super speedways. Fortunately, the Gen 4 car is able to hold their own. Sikosi's still out in the lead here, popping to the outside. Should be, I believe that is Justin Cope in the Monster Energy Ford. We got a huge gap here. Yep, Doug Macedo caught right in the middle of it here. Right now has to reach up and grab hold of Anthony Mathis. Now he might have an opportunity. The people following Macedo are trying to figure out where his line is. He keeps shifting back and forth here, so it makes it extremely hard to catch back up as we are only under lap number 3. And definitely a long race. 3 miles were completed in less than 54 seconds. Top speed's getting around 2:18 out there as we ride on top of Drew Kuhn and the Silver Bullet. You see the 04 right there of Lucas Crump using a little bit of that side draft. Goes in and sets that left front tire on the rear quarter panel. Dangerous move, but it's starting to work. Right now as Kuhn is getting ready to look around. See if he can make the completed pass here. No can do. Kuhn drops down. Crump moves up. And he's going to see if he can pull Charles Wilson with him. We are studying here on this backpack, who in the middle of fighting amongst themselves are losing time out there on the track. We currently are down by 1 1/4 seconds here. They need to start making it up. And now on turn exit speed, they're losing a ton of speed as these guys get a little bit faster. We move up to the front. As oddly enough, Doug Macedo here in the back of the pack. Let's say if they wanted to catch those last 4 guys, you let off the gas a little bit. And see if you can allow them to shift up. It's not going to work. Now apparently they're going to have to wait for a caution or wait for the stage break. We'll see how it unfolds here. Still in the front is not Mark Sikosi. He drops down to 4th. Gladfelter hanging out, started 6th. Everybody currently in the top 3 cars came outside the top 5 to start this race. Kyle Franklin's moved up 6. Eric Johnson is up 8. Adam Glatfelter is up 3. See Brian Wiggins check up there. It's going to give a little gap to the drivers behind him. Not quite sure what's going on with Lucido Lolis here. Now Lucido Lolis and Mathis. That's these three. They're separated by a second and a half. Silver Bullet is leading the charge behind him there. Move back up front to Adam Glatfelter. Let's see if that good wrench machine can keep rolling here. Pretty calm race here so far. Everybody else has been out there kind of playing follow the leader a little bit. Sakosi dials back. He's already got his 5 bonus points for this race. Well, first caution out here of the night. See what happened here. Number 57 machine gets turned around there. Yeah, those guys not giving each other room. Not quite enough. A couple of drivers were considering coming down pit road to see if they can go ahead and throw a little extra fuel in there or an extra set of tires. I'm not seeing anybody taking yet. Should have at least a minimum another time around. Here they come. I believe our new leader should be Brian Wiggins out there in the number 5. So I appreciate you guys joining us here at SimTraX for the FUBAR Studio All-Star Race. As pit road is starting to heat up just a little bit out there. Everybody throwing a little extra fuel in there. Looks like... yeah, some drivers look like they're coming around with a set of tires. So they will be down and back out on the track. Will this come into play only 6 laps into this race? And having to throw on a set of tires definitely trips you up. Unless they're looking to have a switch, and I don't know how much a 6-lap difference will make when drivers do come around for the end of the race. hey, what do I know? I would expect to see a lot of drivers increasing the air pressure, see if they can get a little bit of an edge on some top speed. Handling really isn't that big of a deal at a super speedway, especially with the amount of banking at this track. The turns just about cup you into the inside. Hard part is not falling off the bottom. A lot of drivers on the iRacing service enjoy actually running the Indy cars or the 87s here at this track. This may be the debut race of the Gen 4s for a lot of leagues out there if they wish to try this track. But you're able to definitely see how drivers are able to handle the car and the track out there. And fortunately, with an open setup league like this one, you are able to make those adjustments. And I think that may be what's keeping Sikosi toward the front. Sikosi did come down in the pit. He'll be restarting, I believe, in the 9th or 10th position here. Right now, look how spread apart these guys are. They were working on crunching it up. Some guys were complaining of people getting a run right before the yellow flag goes down. So guys were getting rear-ended and feelings getting hurt out there. Hopefully they will have their go at it. Alrighty. First caution should be finished here. Pace car will be on its way in before we end up under green. Alright, come on. Let's get this going here. Caution laps are not counted. As we await our pace car to leave and get off the track, let's get this going again. Brian Wiggins and Doug Macedo will be in the front. Doug actually back to his original qualifying spot. They're on the outside. Now some drivers still falling a little bit behind here, as it is setting up a little funny. Let's take a look. Chopper view over top. All right, green flag is out. Here we go. Macedo looks like he gets caught off guard again and is now getting shoved around. Anthony Mathis is going to work on around him, which is going to give the outside line the run. That being with Eric Johnson. Johnson looking to floss on around. The 44 going to join him. Macedo caught in the center. He would love to have the opportunity to find a lane. Normally, if you do not get off on the start of the race, guys are going to start trying to sling past you. Macedo from 2nd and 9th. All right, now he'll have a blinker on there. Getting ready to march his butt on back. Right now, I think that's Adam Glatfelter is the last one who passed him. Whoop. That was close. 59 machine of Justin Cope. Cope gets on around. Macedo dials almost all the way back to the last position here. All drivers have still been racing here. No one has cut out and taken it to the garage, which is a good sign. Now I'm looking to see if Kyle Franklin not taking tires. Excuse me, Kyle Franklin did take tires. If that is going to work, I got him tangled up with Brian Wiggins and with Doug Macedo, who did not take tires. Nor did they even turn down pit road. So these guys do continue. Looks like Mark Sikosi is going to try to see if he can hang on. Maybe assuming if we top off and pit now that we'd have enough fuel to make it to the end. It's easier to make a caution pit stop than a green flag pit stop. Because even as the pit crew is running to one side, carrying the tire or putting the dead branch on, then maybe something else will be a little bit different. Take a look at this outside line led by Brian Wiggins. Wiggins getting a little help from behind with Mark Sikosi. Sikosi will come up, give him a little nudge here and see if he can keep that outside line rolling. And notice how Sikosi's trying to help do a little bit of that bump and run out there. This does give right now Wiggins a chance to get back into the lead as he gets on the front. Right now, it's 3 wide here in the back, which obviously there's plenty of room as there's a smack off the wall. That smack off the wall out there went to the number 44 car of Adam Glatfelder. I think he got a little nervous. Doug scares him just a little bit. Still single file here. Looks like everything does calm down. They're going to realize they're about 1.5 seconds of anybody else who does this for a living. We'll get back at it. Let's check in on Mark Sikosi. See if this outside line fight is worth having. Macedo has caught up with him. Wow. Right now I'm watching. I'm not quite sure what Sikosi's doing. Doesn't look like any sort of bad pushing. Might be able to purge a little bit down there on the bottom if the 04 can hang in. Currently, we are sitting with Terry Litweiler in the front. Starting from dead last, gets the lead here. Drew Coons sits second. Eric Johnson is in third. Daniel Lolis fourth, and Lucas Crump rounding out our top 5. Moving on, Anthony Mathis, Mark Sikosi, Brian Wiggins, Doug Macedo, and Justin Cope. Sitting through our top 10 spots. Let's see if right now Macedo's got anything on these guys. He is starting to work on the hurry-up game here. They've got to pick up about 2 seconds. Let's see if I can get us a... right now, Doug Macedo falling down to the 13th spot. Looking pretty bland here. Right now we're looking to see if we can find somebody looking to advance their position here. Saying that we've got about another 6 laps once we get to the line of naming who is the winner for this stage. Things are happening right now. No caution, only one caution here of the night, none following. And we're trying to see if Sikosi's got enough to get going here on that outside line. Hoping that maybe later on in this race, these guys can start finding out why they keep falling off the main pack out there. Now they're almost separated 7 and 7. Where Justin Cope, currently sitting in 9th, is off by almost 2 seconds here. Cope desperately needs some help. Right now he needs some guy kind of burying the nose of his car into him. That way they can try to push. That's Doug Macedo there on the bottom. Even a little help from our crew members out there. I know one of the NSR guys out there that help represent the league. Even did something as simple as recalibrating guys' pedals or his steering wheel out there. If they ran into the same problem, but being able to do something along those lines and that kind of flavor there is that these guys help each other. The open setup is not all about you. So we'll keep an eye out there for any of you guys trying to get other drivers into this sort of race. Definitely is a lot cheaper than doing it for real. Terry Litweiler still holding on the lead, though. As they come across the line, I believe, next time around. See out there in the chat, Lockridge Motorsports is trying to give these guys a hint to maybe take out around a wedge here. That way these guys can get a little more speed out of that car. 2 seconds back is Doug Macedo. And that's just off of Justin Cope. And it's 18.5 seconds to see Tyler Grimes out there and Charles Wilson. Fortunately, they are not alone, but they might as well be. They are our satellite chasers. All the way in the back. Maybe they'll have something going for them. Moving up to the Anthony Mastis area. Like Jamie Bolton out there. Speak your words. Guys, if you do want to join this league and try to add to the numbers, obviously you can see it's slim pick, and the worst you could do is 16 here tonight. Right down. Slowly ticking on by. Quick little update that Adam Glatfelter having one of his fastest sections here of the night. Only driver to break into the 25-second range between first and between turn 1 and 2. See how he does. Boy, he's even faster there. With a 25.82 on turn 3 and 4. Let's go ahead and should set a teenager being able to give these guys a opportunity here. All right, Gary Litweiler still holding on to it, though. We'll see if they have to complete lap 20. 25 seconds off for Tyler Grimes and Charles Wilson. Hopefully they're able to nail down the restart next time. Right now, Doug Macedo unable to fight all the way up to the front like he did back at the caution. So Terry Litweiler across the line. We'll see if the caution comes out or if they're going to go ahead and finish lap number 20. Top 10 cars have passed the line. Caution. All right. So they do have to wait. There, rooting on the crump. All right, pretty quiet race here tonight. Nothing too crazy going on. Definitely slows it down the booth for us up here. If you like taking a look at our schedule, if you like hanging out here for long races, next week we'll be at Sebring International Raceway for a 75 lapper there. slowing down to get into formation, then they'll head into pits and duke it out for positions. Really surprised to see the guys who didn't take tires try to resist not taking. So next week we are at Sebring. Interesting course that one is. All right, here they come. Terry Litweiler, Drew Kuhn, all coming down pit road here. I don't think Grimes... Yep, he's coming in. Fortunately, I did delay Charles Wilson a little bit there. Guys. I see out there in the chat, Lockridge. Yeah, the next oval, buddy, will be at USA International Raceway. That will be the next time we arrive at an oval. I want to confirm I am looking at the correct one. Yes, on 6/28 is the next time we will be back at an oval. And then on 7/5, Texas Motor Speedway. So I highly recommend that. Seeing Texas Motor Speedway 09. That should be the old one before 1 and 2. Extended pit stop time here for Adam Glatfelter. He's been down here for a while. Not quite sure what's going on with the 44. It's a minute and 20 seconds in the box. All right. I don't know about you guys. I'm ready to get this one underway. So we find out how it goes. We can go ahead and lock down who's next in the running. Interesting. Come on, Glad Daddy. Get your butt up there. Let's go. Driver's already starting to double stack. They've got to hurry up. I think it's hard for the drivers that even are catching up. Currently, it's running by about 90 miles an hour pace speed. They're running about 180, 190 trying to catch up. So hopefully Doug Macedo does see him when he does get there. Currently Macedo is sitting in the 1-3, 13 spot. And I think he might have just enough to catch him here right at the end. Come on. All right, green flag is back out. Right now, a couple of our guys were not able to get up to the back of the pack before they got going. And now that means they're going to be watching the pile drive away from him here. This is Macedo, this is Wilson, this is Glatfelter. And none of these guys will have the opportunity here to catch back up as we are back under green. Lap number 21 underway. Currently Jason Crumley sitting back 9 positions from his first start here of the night. Looking to get a huge run here to the outside. Position. That giant run he ended up getting from the back there. Alright, let's T out there rooting on. Let's go Outcasts. We'll see a lot more of them next week. Side by side, these guys go. Lap number 22 underway. Right now, we're looking at the number 9 out there of Jason Crumley. We're just kind of watching him march through the field here. We've had our eyes on him since he was way in the back. Currently sitting in 6th, trying to chop his way back. Right now, Glatfelter off by about 11 seconds. Macedo off by 15. And Charles Wilson off by almost 17 now. Yeah, you see the distance right now, that conglomeration of cars we're seeing running. We're looking to make a difference here. The number 9 dropping down to 3rd. Pretty sweet racing so far. Everything seems to be A-okay. Right now, as everybody is continuing to keep this roll going, it's definitely working out. After Kern, taking a look at some of our points out there, Mark Sikosi is still in the lead with 180. Only 9 behind since Jared Magoon. I think if he had gotten the win last night, it would be even closer, if not tied. Justin Cope sits 3rd, Daniel Lolis is 4th, and Jason Crumley, we've been watching, is 34 points off the lead, sitting in 5th. No, I'm surprised to see a driver like Johnny Taylor doesn't pop back up. He likes racing to super speedways out there. Definitely puts on a great show and shows us what his car can do. See what kind of teams we have. Speed Demon Racing sitting in the number 1 position. Devin Lockridge Motorsports sitting 2nd. Caution is out. I believe it was Mathis who got involved. That's why I was kind of honing in on what was going on. Drew Coons got a ton of damage here. This might be the end of his night. Right front wheel wobbling off. Pretty gruesome wreck here. See if Drew got anything for us out there, if there's anything he can do. Guys are missing their pit boxes here tonight. Not quite sure why. Do see their sign above, so you should be able to keep that pretty steady out there. Pace car lights are still on. Stella, talk to me. I know you're out there. See how it goes. Yeah, look at the banking. That is us sitting there and then looking up the bank. If I'm mistaken, the banking is supposed to be, I believe, over 34, 35 degrees. Making it one of the steepest tracks in NASCAR. Originally built, Bristol held that record. Man. Figure out what's going on out here. Tons of time ticking off. Tons of time ticking off, saying we are sitting here under caution again. The laps almost being at a minute weren't bad enough. We are looking at about almost 2.5 minutes per pace lap. It's going to be pretty tough for you guys out there watching. And I would say everybody else should have done something. I think it would have been a lot cooler if this race, if they had inverted the field. And let the guys who had won the race for the top 5 or top 6 and then invert the field and flip them all the way to the back. At least that way they would have battled out there. And they would have had something going on amongst each other instead of follow the leader all the way to the end. I do appreciate FUBAR Studios for signing on as the primary sponsor here of the NSR League. If you don't know 100% what FUBAR Studios is, you can take a look it up. Look it up for Track Day for Veterans as well. And you'll be able to find those guys up there. They help get some of these veterans out there. So you can do a little speeding out there in a race car. All right. All right, let's see if we can get this back underway. Sikosi hanging in. Still one pit back on lap number 20. That then changes up when you see Glatfelter, Kyle Franklin, Charles Wilson. All these guys have pit. Taking a look at some of our timing, though, I believe Anthony Mathis and Daniel Lolis have taken it out and said that is enough here of this race. Now, mistaken. Kuhn's still hanging out in pit. Let's see what gets him in trouble here for the caution. This is just a bad draft here. Oof. So this actually started a lot farther up the line. Little Daniel Lolis. Let's see if I can find something here. What is going on? Yeah. Little wiggle there by the 18 getting below the apron. Driver behind him trying to keep it off the bottom. So that is going to do him in. Daniel Lolis' night may be over. And I think his crew feels the same way. Currently has taken the car back to the garage. Currently they are working on pit. We're taking a look here at Drew Kuhn. We'll see the roar of the cars coming off of turn number 4. All right, let's get a little closer to the action here. 24 laps left to go. I wouldn't really pay attention to that. I would say 10 laps here at the end is what determines the winner here of this race. Get 25 extra bonus points. We'll see if they can hang on, though. Still a lot of racing left to go. I believe over about 60 some odd miles left to turn. Right now they're still taking their time to work their way up to the front. Notice that bottom line led by the 71 at Terry Litweiler. Boy, if this was a shootout to the line, I think Litweiler would be really close. As we get an overhead view there of Terry Litweiler. Awesome job, as normally we don't see him. I believe that is Tyler Grimes and the Jamaican driving car out there. Right now, the 420 car does give up the 3 wide and was able to fend them off, even though he was in the middle, which is almost unheard of. Once you're in the middle, that's kind of, you're shifted toward the back. Alrighty, guys. Getting pretty quiet out there in the chat. Go ahead and start rolling it up here. Tell me who you think. Let's go ahead and make that pick. 22 to go. Who you think might win this race? Maybe we'll get the league to do something a little awesome for you guys to see if we can keep it going. Currently, see if we can find a better view out here where Mark Sikosi is. Get a little bit closer to the action. Alright, Neil's calling Crump for the top 5. Definitely a possibility. Here we are. Look at Sikosi giving a quick shove. That'll Jason Crump to keep going. Calling that the 18 is going to push Terry Litweiler to victory. Oh, dude. Who was that? Was that Macedo? Yeah, Macedo is around. Front bumper does have damage. Hopefully he doesn't end up towing here. He should be able to get it fired up and going again. Everybody out there is out there saying Terry Litweiler is due. And hopefully we are able to see something. All right, so caution returns back to us here tonight. Douglas Macedo, I'm wondering if he just got a bad push here. But he's been a little bit loose here all night. I'm wondering if that steering wheel's just a little too tight. Yep, and around he goes. How bad? Yeah. So, Terry Litweiler will be heading down in the pit road. See if he can keep that bumper on it. Hopefully the repairs are not as too detrimental to where he is going to be stuck down there for minutes at a time. I think he'd like to finish a few races here. Right now, Drew Coons still sitting down pit road. Looks like that engine is still smoking as it's 9 minutes in to his pit stop. Right now, I'm not showing really any takers down there to pit road. We'll see this time by if anybody decides to pit. Caution, 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 caution. Pace car lights are still on. Let's see what we can do. Stella out there. Stella's asking, do we have any fast repairs? No, we do not. No fast repairs, open setups, and new cars on a simulated track out there of iRacing Super Speedway. So, yeah, Drew Coon is going to be in there for a while. Caution laps do not count, though, here, Stella. That way, these guys are able to fix it. I would want to know that if a driver had to do repairs that lasted longer than the pace lap, wouldn't I not be able to go right back out there and restart in the back of the field without having to drive all the way around? Because that's how we lost our last 3 guys in that line. As they were just able to get all the way around. I would wonder if you could finish pit and then just go ahead and sneak in behind them once they go, instead of having to drive around them and through. Probably what I would have done. Who knows? You're going to make the rules. Let's test them. All right, we got somebody out there choosing Eric Johnson. It looks like Pinnacle Wraps out there saying the 21 is done here for the night. Too much damage. Dude. Well, like I said, if Pinnacle Wraps is out there listening, that's kind of what you're thinking. Think about you can't go lapped down here. So if you are able to make the repair, you might be able to make the final 10 lap stint there at the end. And maybe win it. I mean, yeah, pace laps don't count. Oh well. We have had a few people though. At least some green flag laps, so maybe that's why. Oh man, come on guys, let's go. Pacing around here at 2.5 minutes is kind of silly. All right, Stella, are you joining us here tonight?
I just might do that for you.
All right, awesome. I see iRacing Super Speedway here is definitely getting really separated out here. These guys are creeping up around 220 miles an hour. We are slowly creeping. Obviously, I say slowly. Pace speed is at 90 miles an hour here, but it takes them about 2.5 minutes to get around this 3-mile oval. Yeah, the banking on these turns here, Stella, is pretty intense. Take a look. So they are able to keep these cars hooked up. I figure I would get a little insight from you. Notice how our cars are different now.
I was trying to peek that, but initially I was watching this on my phone. I am working on getting a bigger screen so I can see what's going on tonight.
Roger that. I see what you're saying. So you surprised me here tonight, so we'll definitely try to kind of cue you in here and see what you can make of these cars. Pace car is heading down pit road and getting ready to let these guys rip again. Terry Litweiler getting off to another great start, the 18 of Eric Johnson. Lock Ridge Motorsports out there is excited. Notices Stella has returned back to the booth. And joining us here tonight for the All-Star race. 20 laps to go, but that means 10 till our final stage. And we'll see who is going to be starting in the second position to go ahead and get the last 10-lap shootout.
Are we doing field inversions or anything tonight?
No, unfortunately, we are not.
Okay.
I think it would have been pretty crazy if we did. Check out Mark Sikosi taking this and leading from the outside now. Sikosi working out there with Jason Crumley. Crumley trying to see if he can help him here on the outside line. These guys have been pretty slow here most of the night, looking a little tired, and everybody else is finally starting to wake up here just a little bit once we start getting toward the end. I'd say a couple of drivers are peeking around, though, taking a look. Right now, I believe that is Justin Cope in the Monster Energy machine taking a look. Litweiler still leading this one, though.
I just noticed somebody out there's got a 420 machine on a dark green car.
Yeah.
Had to giggle myself just a little bit.
I guess. Man. Yeah, as we ride along here with Brian Wiggins, Stella, if you can kind of notice here on the screen, watch the turn exit here. See that little bump? Looks like everybody's got their car set up for it. That was what I was talking about last week when you were out there in the chat. That I was nervous, guys, on the turn entry and the turn exit. if the car was going to have any kind of a jolting problem. Watch when they head in. That, see that little bump right there? Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, in the 87 cars, you really got to have that thing facing the right direction before you come out of that turn. The higher you are on turn exit, as the higher that jump is, honestly, which is a little different out there. But we'll see if they can keep it trucking here. Brian Wiggins currently sitting in 6th.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, so it's kind of like a speed bump in the shopping mall, right? You know, you hit it square, it's just a nice 1-2, but you hit it at a bad angle, you get the jostles.
Oh, the shake-up, yeah. Where it throws
Okay.
everything off the shelves. Take a look at the 04 now, shuffling back. Lucas Crump is heading backwards now. Unfortunately, he's got to tuck behind Tyler Grimes. Oh, man. Right now, Crumley getting way loose. The higher you go, the worse it gets. And Crumley, I think, just figured that out. Almost had a Code Brown moment there. Right now, Brian Wiggins down to 5th. Moving us to Sikosi sitting 6th. Lucas Crump is 7th. Justin Cope is the last one in that field, and he's praying he's not getting ready to lose the draft. Sitting at half a second.
Yes.
Half a second behind. Oh, look at this run.
There we go. Now, my question is, did Sikosi slow down to pull him in, or did he speed up?
I would probably say he slowed down a little bit. It looked like he had it. He's got to get this thing back together right now. Sikosi's got to almost cling to the back of Tyler Grimes here.
Oh, yeah.
Because Tyler Grimes, unfortunately, is losing the draft. These guys are gone. Let's check in on Terry Litweiler. I believe his lead is being challenged. Looks like the Logitech's number 71 drops to 2nd now as Brian Wiggins overtakes on this outside line, looking like Brian Wiggins, Lucas Crump, 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah. High side seems to be taking it on pretty good. But I was impressed. Eric Johnson was doing a nice set of pushing in that M&M's machine.
Yeah. And he kind of shifted up a little bit here. I wonder if Eric Johnson would consider rotating up to the top and helping Crumley out, but it looks like Crumley no help.
Oh, stranded.
Yeah, well, if I were Crumley right now, he's got to snug down closer to these drivers before the turn and see if he can use them before he starts falling way off. And Crumley, yep, diving back in.
Yeah, but he tried to get a little extra power, a little extra speed off that turn by going high and diving in. But I don't know. I think he might have done better just sticking with the door draft and staying with them down the bottom.
Yeah, but look at that. Crumley now moving up. He tucked back in the 5th or 6th position. Now he's back in the 3rd.
Uh-oh. Do we have a blinker tonight?
I think we had a little bit of a glitch there.
Well, Mark Sikosi's got himself back up into the thick of things.
Yep. I'll never never count Sikosi out. Because remember, Sikosi was back there with Cope, and yeah, look.
Yes. Yes, that's what I'm saying. He was back there, and they were struggling for a little bit of draft, and here they are, man. They took that high line, and yeehaw!
Yeah, around they go. Sikosi's been on quite a winning streak here lately. As week after week, this guy has been crushing it here so far. Right now, Sikosi, I believe, out there with 3 wins so far. And right now, they're all back to back to back. He ran Kern Raceway, won at that one. And then I believe he won at Southern National.
Not bad. Let's see. Yeah. Kern. I don't think I've ever seen or heard of Kern. Have we ever had a league go to Kern?
No.
Okay.
No. That was the first time I actually had to purchase that track. That way we could get in.
Oh,
Yep, I had to
well
buy a
then.
ticket.
Well, like we say over in the football league, you know, if you're not if you're just sitting on the sidelines yakking about it, you need to buy a ticket, not get out there and play.
Yep,
That's the only way you get a free ride.
yep. Oh, dog, who's wrecking? Brian Wiggins.
Oh,
Oh,
well then.
all about walls for Brian
Look
Wiggins.
at the piece. I'm sorry. The piece is just
Yeah, I'm taking a
kept
look.
flying away.
If Terry Litweiler was involved. I'm looking to see here. I don't know. Yeah, there's some damage. Look at that right front wheel.
Oh, he's about to lose his bumper too.
Boy, you gotta love iRacing. When they start upgrading the graphics like this,
Wow. Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
This
getting
is
more
extra. I
realistic,
have
isn't it?
Yes. I mean the tires usually are maybe a little slanted, maybe sticking out a little bit, but that is great. Wowie.
Yeah, bumper disconnecting. You can even see the fiberglass coming up on the edges. Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. All right. Well, what it doesn't look good for is Terry Litweiler. He's gonna have to come in and get some serious damage
Facelift.
repaired. Yeah, they had a few laps before they ended up calling it there. I know Daniel Lolis out there and Anthony Mathis are pretty upset with their nights here tonight as they finished in
Oh.
13th and 14th. Tons of damage they ended up receiving here tonight and kind of getting mangled up. All right, now as we're taking a look at Terry Litweiler and his slow crawl here in the pit road as he's working on getting
What?
in there. So pit crew will be over the wall, taking off the right side tires and seeing if what they can salvage off that race car.
It's gonna take some intensive surgery.
Yep. So for Terry Litweiler, let's take a look and see what caused this yellow flag. I think it was a rough push. That's the 420 machine still pushing, yeah, and hooked Wiggins. Yeah, and then Wiggins nails that wall.
Yeah. Yeah, bad. Almost like the dirt tracks that have that little where they enter and exit, and sometimes it's just a little off of round,
Boy, look at
and
that
they'll
right
tag
side.
that outside wall. Mm,
What was the
wow.
chance of hitting that spot?
I know.
Still,
Yeah. Any further? Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
pace laps do not count here. Uh,
Okay. So where are we now? On 38?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
And we stay on 38 for how many laps?
a minimum of 2 to 3 per caution.
Okay.
So we'll get back at it here in just a little bit. Right now, pit road is heating up. Everybody else is noticing that lap number 40 will be the end of stage 2. And our winner will move on to start second in the final stint.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Zero X Media out there said, show the wreck, 200 to 0
Yep.
in 1 second. Yeah, that was pretty gnarly.
Yep. Yeah, right now even 0X out there saying show the wreck 200 to 0 miles an hour. You know, that's a good idea. Maybe we should go on board with him. Let me see. Boy, Wiggins not going to be happy. Let's take a look. We got plenty of time. They're doing plenty of pace laps here. All right, here he is, Wiggins. Nudge, nudge, huge run. Right side up. And...
Ow.
And that is his arm spasming there on the steering wheel.
Okay.
Well, he pulled the ejectocito a little too late. Hood pops off well after the wreck.
Now, what was that blue car in the front? That did not look like a usual car. Sitting on pit road?
Blue car?
Yeah. That one, the one in the very first pit
Oh,
stall.
Mr. Doug Macedo.
Yeah, show me the front. Why does it
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
look...
That would be our Chevy
Oh.
Monte Carlo.
Oh. Okay.
Yep.
That looks different.
Yep. So here are the Chevys. This is the Monte Carlos.
Okay.
And I believe, let's go to Lucas Crump. These are our Fords.
Hmm. Still got a nice pushing front, at least.
Yes.
Not pointy.
Yep. Very flat on the front. You're used to seeing the Dale Earnhardt car when he ended up getting a bunch of wins. Getting that win at Talladega in this. You'll see the Chevys out there look good, especially, see, there's the junior car. So we'll be able to get somebody out here with the Bobby Labonte paint scheme. That'll be looking pretty good.
Like that. Okay.
Yep.
So they have a much bigger,
Face.
like, breathing hole on the hood. Oh, hey, pace car's off.
Yep.
That wasn't bad.
Nah. No. Green flag back out. Here we go. So this time, Stella, this will be a shootout here.
With like 2 laps.
Yep.
All right. Now to move on, I guess we've had a heat before this one.
Actually, no, it was not set up this time.
Oh, so we're just doing it in stages. So we had a stage before this one?
Yes.
There we go.
We stopped at
So
lap 20.
who were the 2 that moved on to the finals from that one?
I think we ended up under a caution, so I'm unsure. I believe it was Sikosi that had made it through.
Okay.
So
Oh, they're not just taking winners. They've got to be taking more than just one guy, right?
Well, they'll take one guy, and that's who will start on the front row.
Oh, okay.
Tail wag there
Wow.
for Sikosi.
Yes, it just looked like it. Okay.
No, I'm waiting for my sleeper car to get up there. Waiting for Adam Glatfelter. For him to show up.
Mr. Lockridge out there is making fun of me.
Yeah, your breather thingy.
Yeah, well, that little radiator hole.
Yeah. Well, when we look at it, that right underneath that Monte Carlo, this is where they used to add a lot of tape. And they joke around about Jeff Gordon losing a single piece of tape out there, and him losing 0.2 of a second.
Oops.
So, yeah, once they put another piece of tape on there, he was able to increase his speed. So, this is the year of tape. A lot of guys were piecing their cars back together, getting back out there, and the tape was actually helping with aerodynamics. Right now, Sikosi is looking pretty loose and crappy out there.
But what about heat? I mean, wouldn't that, isn't that what the little breather thingies are for? Is to bring in the air-cooled system?
Yep.
So if you tape it shut, wouldn't you overheat? Like we've seen them do at Talladega and Daytona, where they're all, you know, nose to tail.
Yep. It does make it harder to draft out there. Jason Crumley will be coming across the line here. I'm wondering if they're nixing and going ahead and not doing the shootout. Wow, okay.
Nobody is putting information there. Oh.
Cautions? Nothing?
Thank you, Devin. Yep, he said we ran him up to max temp. I'll be darned. go?
308.
I'm afraid that's how fast they're going?
No, that's the temperature.
Oh,
I was just
okay.
reading what Lockridge Motorsports was out there saying. So Lockridge Motorsports says they will be returning when we find these guys at the USA International Speedway. You guys will be ready for some short track racing. Next week we will be at Sebring. There's another.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's not. That one doesn't even look like a bump. That one looks like a hole that they drop into.
The entrance into turn 1.
Yes.
Yep.
I feel that one in my back teeth.
This is Sikosi.
Okay.
Al Sikosi's got the nose buried there into Jason Crumley. Trying to push him a little farther forward as the 18 of Eric Johnson's coming up. So everybody who kind of rooted Terry Litweiler to come into this one, he spent 9 minutes in the pit box. He is not going to be returning here. Drew Kuhn, 32 minutes. And Brian Wiggins, I think he's going to be playing spotter now. If you can see, that was a heck of a hit.
Yeah.
On that inside wall. Wow. All right. Yep. Thought he said he was going to be riding high. And now is Tyler Grimes. He's looking to see if he can reel it in here with Sikosi, get going.
Riding high, driving high. Same thing, right?
Yep. Taking the top lane.
Okay.
Eric Johnson has gone ahead and snuck forward, got the lead, and taken it away from Jason Crumley. Moving on to Kyle Franklin.
Yeah. He's right behind him there in second.
Yeah, taking a look there for Kyle right now. I believe Kyle's sitting down in the 16th spot. This will be his second start here of the run. He did have a top 5 during that run he had.
Did Mark Sikosi just get an EOL or something? I mean, he is way back here in 7th place. I mean, he just dropped back.
Well, he got knocked out of the draft there a little bit and fell back. Remember, he was riding back there with Tyler Grimes.
Yeah, I saw him getting pretty up close and personal with the monster machine there. And next thing I know, here he's way back here.
Yep. Charles Wilson wish he could throw out a line here.
Oh, yes.
But unfortunately, he goes a lap down. 4 to go at the line.
Good push by Kyle Franklin.
Yep. They are taking a couple interesting moves here. Wow, interesting wiggle there by Johnson.
Yeah, they do have to pull back a little bit on that push when they go in the turns, but then suck it to them.
Wow.
What?
Just looking at what Sikosi's doing. Talk about Sikosi falling off. Notice who's working that outside line.
Yeah, but okay, here we go. Maybe they're going to get that third car up there with Jason Crumley.
100%.
Yeah. Look at that, though. When they hit that bump or dip or whatever the heck it is, it throws them all out of line.
The 3 guys still remaining on the lead lap for Speed Demon Racing go to Crumley, Cope, and Sikosi, and that is who's occupying the outside lane.
Aha.
Currently, Wiggins and Macedo are down laps. They unfortunately
go.
got mangled up out there. Right now, they're trying to come up with something or some sort of an answer here. Outcast Motorsports out in front. Eric Johnson sitting in the number 1 spot. Kyle Franklin, he's sitting in the number 2 spot. Crump is out there with McLean Motorsports to break it up. Adam Glatfelter as well. Moving on to Drew Kuhn. I believe he should. Drew Kuhn and Terry Litweiler should be our 2 guys who are out for Outcast Motorsports. As the wiggles on the bottom continue here, Stella, 2 to go.
Yes. Sure are.
Chrissy Reed rooting on Franklin. Kyle taking a look. Does the number 11 dump his friend here?
Jamie Bolton's rooting on Johnson. Got a lot of new fans out here. I like it.
Yep. Keep in mind with the new fans, we know they have subscribed out there. Do appreciate you guys doing that. Taking a look off the back of Kyle Franklin here. Waiting to see that outside lane. There it come. That is Cope to the outside, but a little too late. As they fend them off. Side look here. A couple of different things are taken into account. 59 taking a look to the outside. Right now, Franklin's got to really give a huge shove here to the 18, because this is going to be a shootout here at the end.
Yeah, they've got their three all close up together, but you were saying that that top line has a worse bump than anybody else?
Yeah, but the 04, I think, just fumbled back there. The 04 just dropped off.
Oh.
And that broke the draft for our 3-4 guys in the center there. That's going to give Cope out front. And look at where Kyle Franklin is. Little blocky. See if he can get
goodness.
it. 18 trying to find it out right now. Cope. Nope.
Oh, no,
Cope,
no,
don't
no,
do
no,
it.
no,
That'll
no.
be 2 races in a row here, buddy. Don't do it.
Oh, wow. That was close.
So wait. Give it a second. The 04 is going to try to take a look for it. Lucas Crump is going to see if he can give a shove to right now. Taking a look for it.
He is.
Look at
Wow.
Sakosi to the inside. Oh, my gosh. Sakosi finishes second, though.
He did. He did. What in the world? Oh, hello. Same spot in the wall. That's pretty funny. Wow, yes, he came up from behind along that outside wall, something fierce. And I think we have a little bit of fender frustration, we'll call it, to finish up this race with Justin Cope actually coming in first. Mark Sakosi second, Kyle Franklin, and the number 11 comes in third.
Gotta see this again. Oh, what? That was a great view. Don't do that. That's horrible. Come on, producer. Figure it out here, buddy. This is at the line.
Yeah, they were all over Justin Cope.
Well, the 11 goes down there and tries to nick him.
The 04 was sawing back and forth. Look at 44. Oh, I thought he got through.
No, I think the only one who got through is the guy who stayed high.
Yes. 42018 came along, didn't get hit, but I think he then just joined it for the fun.
Yeah, but remember back, the 18 almost got spun out there, entering turn number 3. Cope was doing a lot of mirror driving. All right, well, we'll hold our breath here. I know a lot of guys are wound up about this race. And we kind of pushing each other after this one. Let me see if I can find some unofficial results here as they keep an eye on what happened out there. Cope did come away with the win, and it was closer than I thought. 8 thousandths of a second. Mark Sakosi almost had him.
That is close.
Kyle Franklin, yeah, you see even Lucas Crump, he only missed it by 2 thousandths of a second to Franklin. That was right there at the end. All right. Awesome. I'll see if we can find Kyle Franklin out there. Maybe have a deal with him. I don't know. I think Kyle.
We have all. Oops.
Got him? All
we
right.
Have him.
All right.
Yep.
Awesome. Sweet. All right. Guys, short break. We'll be right back.
Tiny break.
All righty, catching up with our third place finisher here, who I thought may have had second, if not the win. Kyle Franklin, man, what a close finish here at the end. Talk to me kind of these last few laps here and kind of wrap it up for me.
The last few laps are pretty chaotic. Made a couple mistakes there in the last few laps that, cost probably the win. But I'm learning. These plate tracks are not my jam. So, just hanging in there.
These guys were pushing around a whole lot out there trying to find a different groove, I would say. Tons of guys building up runs out there. How's the new race car feel?
Oh, man, you put me in a really bad position. I don't like them. The super speedway car is okay, but the other version, it's just not my cup of tea. I think iRacing kind of destroyed that, but that's to everybody's different opinion.
All right. Well, hopefully, if maybe we get off the super speedways, it might change your mind. Kyle Franklin, congratulations on your third place finish here, buddy. Go and give me a shout outs.
Oh, shout outs to Outcast Motorsports. Those guys are awesome out there, day in, day out, just being friends and stuff. Shout out to Drew Kuhn and Pinochle Wraps. Unfortunately, couldn't run his paint scheme today, with all the new templates now. Shout out to my girl, Chrissy, and friends and family.
All right.
Oh, and you guys in the booth, thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, no problem, buddy.
And guys to put on the league, I appreciate that too. Somewhere to race. So.
Yeah, and maybe we'll see you get back to it and get out there again. Congratulations, buddy. We'll see you in the coming weeks.
All right, thank you.
Yep. All right, Kyle getting at it there. Breaking the streak. Sits Mark Sikosi. We thought he might be able to go 4 in a row. Mark Sikosi, talk to me a little bit about the very ending of this race, man. This thing, you guys really tried to work together to keep these guys behind you.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. That cars were really fast tonight. We kept getting stuck up in that second lane there a lot of the race, and it's tough at this track to make anything happen up there. You really want to be on the bottom. But yeah, the last couple laps, we kind of got separated there for a little bit, and then Crumley had a run, so he had to tuck out from under me, so he didn't run me over, and we got Cope out front, which was good enough to help him get the win. But yeah, we had a shot there at the end.
Dude, that was... I don't know, man. I'm kind of beside myself. These guys shifting forward, backwards, sideways. Everybody was facing, Wiggins going down and having an abrupt stop at 200 miles an hour. This track is pretty treacherous out there, especially with the bumps. How did the new cars handle out there for you?
Overall, on the plate tracks, these handle really good. They handle better than the other car. They obviously have a little more horsepower. They're very stable compared to the last car. You can kind of put the thing wherever you need to. We had the thing set up really good over the bumps, over the little dips. Felt really good. Car was fast. I think we got all the speed we can get out of it. It was just a matter of the cars around, how you're working the draft. And I mean, you really wanted to be on the bottom there. Unless you're really side drafting them guys in that second lane, it's really hard to do anything out there. But hey, we made it happen there at the end.
Awesome. All right, Mark, go ahead and give me a shout out, buddy. We got to get you guys ready for Sebring.
Yeah. Congrats to Colt. Got to thank for everybody that came out tonight. We have a lot more guys that were supposed to be here. They're going to be here next week. Hopefully they're here next week. We should have 20-25 car field there next. Well, Sebring, we'll see. Maybe this following week, but being a road course. Yeah, I got to thank Doug Macedo with the FUBAR Studio and Check Day for Veterans. We got to thank Race Control, Devin Lockridge. We got to thank our competition. I mean, I love the passion out there. The guys are putting in the work in these setups. Really solid races out there right now. It's a lot of fun, and hopefully we can keep growing this thing.
All right. Mark, congratulations on your second place finish, and good luck on the Sebring setup, man. It's not gonna be easy.
No, it's not. Thanks.
Yep. All right, moving him back out there. Right now, we'll see if Mark Sikosi's got anything for these guys when they do move to that position. All right, let's go ahead and get to our race winner, which, if I've read the rules right, Justin Cope, you are locked in, buddy, for the chase. How's it feel after the All-Star race?
Feels a whole lot better than last week, I'll tell you that.
All right. Well, last week ended up bringing up a lot of conversation out there, and a lot of things were happening. You know, it almost looked like I was hoping it wasn't going to happen because you were doing a lot of mirror driving down that backstretch, weren't you?
Yeah, last week, I mean, I'll take the blame for that. I made a bad move. I was sort of reacting off Sikosi what he was doing, and I screwed everybody up, really. But I know a couple guys in here weren't too happy with this race either, but I mean, I'm in the front, I'm a sitting duck. I mean, I don't think I threw any egregious blocks that anybody else would have done, but I guess some people see it differently.
Yeah, well, we saw down into turn 3 when you went down to block the 18. I mean, it was close. But, I mean, your run had ended, I would say. You didn't have any more pushing. There was nobody else behind you. The 18 had bailed out, so you were, you know, you lost aerodynamics and were on the roll backwards. You know, did you think you would end up winning this race here?
No, not a chance. Like I said, I mean, you're out front like that, especially by yourself. I mean, you're pretty much sitting duck. I mean, you got so many teammates behind you of different teams. I know me and Sikosi, Crumley, and Wiggins, we kept on trying to get hooked up tonight, but it just didn't work out. Everybody kept on washing up in the corners, it seemed like, and it would spread us apart. So it's hard to keep the pack strong, you know.
Yeah, very difficult. Now we'll kind of teeter-totter a little bit here on the points. Mark Sikosi did go ahead and he got the pole, so he'll get 5 points. But I believe you get 25 points for the win here tonight. So we'll kind of weigh. I don't know. I don't want to call and say it, but I think you might be our new points leader here.
Yeah, I hadn't really looked, seen how close it is. Maybe it did push me in front of it.
You're 14 off the lead starting tonight.
All right.
So,
well, we'll see how it plays out, I reckon.
Well, Sebring's next week, and that'll be the last question I ask you before I get your shout-outs. You know, road course, and how's the 59 car handle?
It's not my forte, so to speak. We'll see how it goes, but I don't have too much confidence in the road course.
All right, man. Well, hopefully we'll see how it goes for you out there, and we'll definitely bring it in for a pinch. We had a lot of first-time drivers out here, and Outcast Motorsports are definitely, I would say, almost giving you guys a run for your money out here. So I love the battle between you guys and being able to come up with something. So Justin, go ahead and give me a shout out, everybody.
Yeah, just appreciate everybody showing up week in, week out. Appreciate you guys doing the broadcast. You know, y'all do an awesome job, and hopefully we can pull some more guys in and see how it goes. And just thank my teammates, Sikosi, for coming up with set, and we put some time in on, put some laps in last night, so I'm sure that come into play today. And just appreciate everybody showing up again. I mean, but the league is going to live on with more people we can get, so hopefully it keeps on going in this direction.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I was crossing my fingers hoping for a 30-car field tonight. I mean, what's it to hurt? You know what I mean? If you lose, it's no loss in points, but it's not really a gain unless you win stages. So congratulations on the win here, Justin, and man, I'll be glad to see you making it into the chase here, buddy. Congratulations, and we'll see you at Sebring.
And it's good to see you back, Stella. It's been a while.
Uh-oh. Stella.
There she go.
There you go.
I didn't know you were listening while you were driving.
Yeah, we noticed it. Is that Stella? Oh, yep, sure is.
Yeah.
Good to see you back there.
Just a quick guest appearance, we'll call it.
Oh, come on now. All right, you guys have a good one.
Take it easy, Justin.
Thanks.
Oh, man. I got the hots for you. I told you. All right.
Oh, no, duh.
All right, guys. Appreciate you joining us here at SimTraX Broadcasting. I see Emil out there asking, I should review Lucas. It was his first ever league race. Lucas Crump did nail a 4th place finish. I just need him to pick up one more, and we'll be able to grab Lucas out there. We talked to our guys 1, 2, and 3. Lucas Crump did an awesome job here tonight. iRacing Super Speedway, but I would say hopefully he continues coming back. I would love to see how he finishes at a road course, short track, or even these 1.5 miles that we will be running in the coming weeks. But that should do it for us here at iRacing Super Speedway, bringing you the NSR series. SimTraX Broadcasting signing off. Be well, be safe, be kind, and we'll see all you guys next time.